Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we have got a couple of news stories to get through. The first starting off with Xbox, who has announced that they are now bringing their first party titles to the Game Pass, which is their monthly subscription service, on the day that they are coming out, which is going to be huge for the digital sales of Microsoft first-party titles. And also, we've got information on two veteran industry graphics leaders who are coming to the Radeon Technologies Group as a replacement for Raja Koduri, who left the company in late 2017. But first, we're going to start off with Microsoft, which, as I said, they have announced that they are now going to be bringing their first-party titles to the Game Pass service at launch. For those of you who maybe aren't familiar, the Microsoft Game Pass is basically their on-demand sort of Netflix-like subscription service, which you can get for $10 a month. It's got like literally hundreds of titles on there, lots of good games on there that you could get right now with the service. But the one thing kind of holding it back is that it didn't have the first-party titles, the big ones right at launch, like the Halo, the Gears of Wars, the Forzas. And now those will be coming to Game Pass right away when they do come out. They said that the first game that's going to be launching on the Game Pass is going to be on March 20th, which is Sea of Thieves. So as soon as that game comes out, you don't need to pay any extra charge. If you've got the $10 a month service, you're going to be able to get that game right away. And I think this is going to be really big for Microsoft as people are starting to move more and more away from physical media anyway. I mean, there are a lot of games now that come out for consoles that you don't even get a disc in the box. You just get a code. So it's nice to see that they are doing this, and this is something I've actually been saying for quite a few years now, is that I wanted to see a good on-demand service like this, and I would love to see something like this actually come to the PC. Now, whether or not how successful this is going to be for Microsoft and if they're going to get a lot more people buying into the service remains to be seen. I do think they will certainly see a surge in subscriptions, probably initially, and we'll see what happens as time goes on. But for people that are probably gaming on both platforms, if you do game on the Xbox as well as the PC, there's not too much reason to play those games on console, at least in my opinion, since most of the first-party exclusives are now coming to the PC anyway. So I'm really glad that Xbox or Microsoft does that they bring their first-party exclusives over to the PC, and I hope that in the future we see that with games like Halo, because Gears of War 4 on the PC was excellent, ran beautifully, was very happy to be able to get back into the Gears franchise after coming over to the PC back in 2013, for me at least. So this is something that definitely interests me, and whether or not this service will come to the PC, Phil Spencer actually did comment on this. He said, "I have been on public record saying I want people to play the games they play on the devices they want to play them on." This was Phil Spencer saying this, and he went on to say, "So stay tuned. We're not announcing anything today other than our biggest games will launch on retail date into Game Pass, but I like your thinking," in the reply to whether or not this service would basically be coming to the PC. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments below if something like this were to come into PC, not necessarily just from Microsoft, but let's say if they did like a Steam on demand. I would sign up for that day one. If they did Steam on demand, like all of the games and the new games coming out day one that you could play them, I'd pay as much as $20 a month for that. If you agree, let me know down in the comments below. I'm not sure if we would see that really with Steam with the entire library, but what I think is more likely is that we'll see this becoming more of a thing with things like Origin, who already has their Origin Access program, although they don't usually have day one titles apart from the 10-hour trial that they will give you. But maybe we could see something like this now that Microsoft has laid the groundwork. Maybe we'll see Origin doing day one titles on the Origin Access. Possibly Uplay introducing something like this as well. So that's something I'll definitely keep my eye on. In response to this, we saw the stock price, oddly, of Gamestop kind of plummeting to its lowest point in 5 years as a result of this. I mean, their stock has not been doing great anyway. Over the past 5 years, it's continued to come down as physical media sales have dropped and digital media sales have gone up, and they just really haven't adapted quite yet to the market landscape and what is happening with digital sales. And if this keeps on going the way that it is, if GameStop doesn't sort themselves out and start investing in, online services and, releasing these games in an online way, then I think they're going to end up being the next Blockbuster. It really looks like that's the way that they're going. And Microsoft stock has continued to rise over the last 5 years. I mean, over the past 5 days, we saw a decent little uptick, but it's pretty much consistently been going up for pretty much since its initial stock offering. So Microsoft might be a good stock to get a hold of. Definitely, if you had the chance 5 years ago, you're probably doing pretty well right now, as it's gone from around $27.88 5 years ago to now up to around $93 per share. So that would have been a nice hefty profit if you invested in Microsoft some years ago. But GameStop, I'm sorry to say, if you're holding on to any shares, just get rid of it. Offload them immediately, because it is just plummeting. So they're going to need something huge to come back from this. Next up, we've got some information on 2 new industry veterans, as quoted over on Hexus.net, that are going to be coming over to the Radeon Technologies Group. So in late 2017, Raja Koduri had taken a sabbatical following the launch of RX Vega, which I think we can all collectively agree was awful. It was just a flop, and you still can't really even find the cards, and when you can now, they're like $2,000 because of the mining and the RAM shortages and all of that, which we've touched on so much in the past week or so, and months really. So when Raja finally did step down, Lisa Su took over initially, but now she's going to be getting back to taking over, control of the full company and being responsible for all of that, which I think is a good thing. And they're going to be bringing in 2 people to actually replace Raja. So we've got Mike Rayfield and David Wang pictured right here, and we can kind of see their stats below. Over about 55 years of combined experience between these 2 gentlemen. So definitely people that have been around in the graphics industry for a very long time. Mike Rayfield, I think, is the most interesting one here. He has 30 years of experience. He previously worked for Micron, and as you can see, he also worked for NVIDIA, and he led the team that created the Tegra processor. So he's got the inside information from NVIDIA, which hopefully he brings over to AMD and can kind of give them some information on how things are working over there with the development of their GPUs, and maybe they can apply that, and AMD can kind of come back and deliver something in the next few years that can really rival what NVIDIA is putting out there right now, because in the GPU landscape, they just are not competing very well with NVIDIA. Obviously, on the CPU side of things is very different, as Ryzen really put a blow into Intel and the amount of CPUs going out into the market last year. Ryzen just did a fantastic job, whereas Vega was just a complete flop. And I do hope that we see this I do hope that is what happens. I would love to see AMD to kind of rise to the occasion and really be able to compete head-to-head with NVIDIA like they have in years past, because we just need the competition. It doesn't really come down to fanboying one way or the other. I don't want AMD to be better just because I like AMD. It's really not the case. I have an NVIDIA graphics card in my system, the 1080 Ti, because it is, besides Volta, pretty much like the best graphics card you can own right now. And the moment that AMD does take the lead in price to performance, then I will probably get an AMD graphics card, because that's really all I'm about, and that's why I want to see good competition, is so that NVIDIA has a reason to be fair to their consumers, and also to put out products at a better cadence than what they are right now. Kind of having no competition means that they don't have to push out consumer-level graphics cards, which is why we've probably seen them focusing on the professional space with things like Titan V. The other person that has been hired on by AMD for the Radeon Technologies Group is David Wang. He's got 25 years of graphics and silicone development experience. Previously worked for Synaptics, and he also had worked for AMD previously in the past in a management position. So both of these guys coming on board, I think, is going to be a good move for AMD, hopefully, and I look forward to seeing what they can do in the coming years. But as always, please let me know your thoughts on the topics discussed in today's news video. It's the Radeon Technologies Group with their new hires. Do you think this would be enough to kind of bring them back and be able to compete with NVIDIA? And also the Xbox Game Pass. If this comes to PC, would you invest in getting this for the PC for $10 a month just for Microsoft's first-party exclusives? And also, if it were to come to multiple services, how likely would you be to subscribe to that on something like Steam, Uplay? I mean, if you add up like 3 or 4 different services from the different publishers that have them out there, you're probably looking at like $30 to $40 a month for all of them. But I don't think that's necessarily too bad, but maybe your opinion will differ. So let me know down in the comments below what you think on this. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on it down below and subscribe if you're not already. And if you have been here for a while, you can always hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of content here on the channel. And if you want to pick up the new shirt like I'm rocking right here, don't forget to hit up the Spreadshirt shop, which I'll also leave a link to down in the description, so you can get the new JP Circuit shirt like I'm rocking right now. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ta-ra.